Yo, what's up, fight fans? AJ here. Y'all know what I do. Talk boxing, everything in boxing. And today, man, I got some real disturbing boxing news. Keith Thurman, WBA welterweight champion of the world, has pulled out of his March 5th fight against none other than Showtime Shawn Porter, and it's due to a car accident injury. So you know what? Before I go in on Keith Thurman's ass, because he's definitely one of my favorite fighters, but I gotta go in on him. I'm gonna wish him, well. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. In the article that I'm going to definitely leave in the description, it says he'll be back in a few weeks, back to training. He's anxious to be back to training, but right now the fight is postponed, and Shawn Porter and his father, Kenny Porter, right now, by the looks of it, they don't give a fuck. They just want to go on and keep the date and keep a fight going scheduled for that date. But personally right now, I gotta call Keith Thurman out on his bullshit, because when you looking at Keith Thurman in the Shawn Porter fight, this is a fight that I don't really feel like Keith Thurman wanted. I don't think Keith Thurman really wanted this fight. I'm not saying Keith Thurman can't beat Shawn Porter, but it's something about the way Keith Thurman was going about actually taking on the fight, because for months Keith Thurman was missing in action, MIA, motherfucking his ponytail could not be found nowhere. And Shawn Porter was still out and about. Shawn Porter was still doing the interviews. He was still training. Shawn Porter's a big boy, so he don't got no off season. He stay in the motherfucking gym. His father fucked the bitches, and he just stick to the business. But Shawn Porter was out and about doing what he had to do, and I salute Shawn Porter for that. Damn near promoting the fight by himself while Keith Thurman was, acting like the diva of the division. And that's the problem with boxing, man, because I really feel like these guys, once they get to a certain level, once they feel like they're a top dog, it's not like it used to be back in the day. See, where I'm from, when you hot, you stay on the block. When you doing something successful, you keep doing it until the police come, until everybody know you hot, until you can't come out the house. That's the culture I'm from. I don't know where these guys is from. Keith Thurman is from Clearwater, Florida. See, my parents, they moved to Clearwater, Florida when I was a young boy, and then they moved me back to Brooklyn. So I don't know how it feels to grow up in the sun. I grew up in a harsh environment in Brooklyn before the white people moved in. Shout out to all the white people. But yeah, Keith Thurman, man, he's been acting real Hasidity, real diva-ish. And it goes to show with this action, because 2 weeks before, it has to be at least 2 or 3 weeks before the fight, you want to pull out. What the fuck are you doing in the car anyway? Who the fuck told you to be in the car? You supposed to be running everywhere. You're not supposed to be going nowhere. You in training camp. You supposed to be in a secluded area. Like, what you doing in the car to even get in a car accident? And I had to call him on his shit, man. It's real disturbing when you have your favorite fighters, because Keith Thurman is the type of guy that I say Keith Thurman could fuck up anybody. Like, I'm pulling for Keith Thurman against Kell Brook. I got Keith Thurman beating a lot of these guys. I got Keith Thurman being Shawn Porter, but right now I don't like the mental space Keith Thurman is in. I don't appreciate it. Keith Thurman used to be a dog, pit bull, want to talk shit about everybody, want to fight everybody, but now that he got the prize, which is the belt, he is the WBA, welterweight champion of the world, I really feel like Keith Thurman is on his diva shit, picking and choosing his partners very, very wisely. And Shawn Porter is a bad matchup for anybody. Like, Shawn Porter is a rough and tough guy, Ohio born and bred. Those motherfuckers ain't no hoe in them. Ain't no hoe in Shawn Porter. You could see it in his loss. You could watch the Kell Brook loss, man. That's a fight that I watched damn near 20 times. Shawn Porter got heart, man, and I commend him. But Keith Thurman is really showing us a glimpse of what is to come, because I really feel like Keith Thurman, when he does get back in the ring and fight Shawn Porter, I really feel like Keith Thurman will beat Shawn Porter, but Keith Thurman isn't really proven. He beat Robert Guerrero, okay. You fought a Bundu, okay. You stopped Diego Chavez, okay. But, he ain't really done nothing to have the boxing community unanimously say that Keith Thurman is the guy at 147. It's a different situation from a guy like Floyd, which has been in the game for 20 years, and he do that shit. We got to deal with it because he's the cash cow. Or it's different when you got a guy like Canelo do it because he's a cash cow. Only cash cows could do shit like this. You can't be pulling out the biggest fight of your fucking life, bro. You got to go in that ring injured or not. Oh, okay, you have a car accident. You might have sprained the motherfucking wrist, sprained an ankle. I've been in car accidents, motherfucker. I got my ass up out of there and walked to my lawyer's office, man, and try to get some paper. But you want to pull out of fights, brother. it's a terrible day in boxing, man, because this is the marquee fight of the first half of the year. This is the fight that everybody wants to see. Because personally, I feel like this fight was going to be the top fight, and either Canelo and Khan was going to be the next biggest fight of the year, and maybe tail off with a Gennady Golovkin or Canelo or Andre Ward and a Kovalev fight. But you know what? If you leave it up to Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter and him ain't really going to fight ever. Because if you going to leave it up to that motherfucker, you already see the type of trends he pulling off with Shawn Porter. He doesn't want to fight Shawn Porter. He wants to fight somebody easier. I think if it was a Danny Garcia, slowpoke Danny Garcia with one punch that Keith Thurman could easily avoid all night long and, try to dip and dodge and outbox Danny, I think Keith Thurman would have been healthy. Keith Thurman would have found his way out of that car without a motherfucking scratch. But due to the fact that there's a guy like Shawn Porter that is kind of borderline motherfucking dyslexic when it comes to his ring IQ, the motherfucker comes and executes and tries to find his opponent. And Shawn Porter, he's an animal that's yet to be tamed. And that's his style. And that's why people like Shawn Porter, because he's different in there. He's not going to give you the same typical, move, jab. No, that motherfucker jab a couple times, and before you know, he's back on your ass. Like, Shawn Porter is a hell of a fighter. Keith Thurman is a hell of a fighter. And as a boxing fan, I'm very disappointed that we are going to miss out on a hell of a fight that should have happened damn near probably a couple months ago. If it was, up to us, we would have put those motherfuckers in the ring about 2-3 months ago. But with that being said, it's AJ Knows Boxing. Keith Thurman has been ruled out of his March 5th fight against Shawn Porter due to an injury in a car accident. But with that being said, man, it's AJ Knows Boxing. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel right now. We're going to talk boxing. We're going to keep it light, keep it fun. You know what I mean? And I'm out. 1.